Hey everyone, so today what I got going on is I'm working on my 2000 Dodge Ram 2500, and I'm going to be putting on the upgraded tie rod bar setup. And what that entails is, as everyone knows, these Dodges came with what's called the Y steering. And what that means is, as you can see, the tie rod bar comes across here, and then right about a foot before the end, it stops. As you can see right here, this one in the back stops before it gets to the other spindle. And then what they do is they come off the spindle and then they use the drag link and go up to the steering box. Well, with the new setup, you eliminate that. So instead you go from spindle all the way over to spindle. As you can see, it doesn't split anymore, and then it comes off the tie rod bar and then goes up with your drag link to the pitman arm on the steering box. So what this is what they consider the 09 and up 4th gen tie rod bar conversion or upgrade. From what I understand is that they got rid of the Y steering in 09 because it was having issues, and they started putting in this T steering. There is other options. If you want, you can get a more heavy duty setup from Synergy or Dodge Off-Road. They're pricey though. This costed me $300. Synergy's about $750, and Dodge Off-Road is anywhere between $500 to $1,000, depending on if you want to weld it up yourself or have it already done. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that taken off, get this put on, and kind of go through the process and show you how it all works. As you can see, it's definitely more heavy duty compared to that, and it should be a lot nicer. So I'm going to get started on this, and before I do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some measurements from spindle to spindle at the tie rod right here on each side, and I'll probably take another measurement from tire to tire. That's not going to be perfect. Obviously I'm going to have to still take it in, get an alignment done, and get it set right, but at least this will get me close and get me driving down the road. So here we go. Okay everybody, so here I have went ahead and I've loosened up the tie rod bolt, the pitman arm bolt up here on the drag link, and then the other side over there. Now the reason I did it like this is, here's a little tip. If you leave the nut on there like that, then what you can do is take your hammer and hit right here, or use your pickle fork and put in between, and when it breaks loose, it won't drop down to the ground and hit you or hit something on your truck and dent something or hurt something. And that way it keeps it in place, and then you can just finish taking the nut off and then drop it out of the way. So as you can see, I got them broke loose, and that's what I mean. It dropped down, the nut held it. Same with up here at the pitman arm and on the other side. This left side ended up just giving it one quick tap and it dropped free. Same with the pitman arm here, but this one I had to use the pickle fork on. It was in there, and Kind of seems to be that way with this truck. I think whoever used to own it probably had it buried in the mud or something on this driver's side, because the truck came from Salt Lake, and it seems like everything on the driver's side seems to be rusted more than the other side. But just in case you guys don't know what a pickle fork is, that's what I'm talking about. And you just take it, stick it in here like so, give it a few whacks on the back, and it'll pop it loose. Okay guys, so I've got my tie rod out, and literally took 10 minutes. It's really quick, super easy. You've got 2 bolts for the shock. You might have a nut on one side, depending on the year. And then you just got your 3 points that it's attached to. The tie rod on this end, that end, and then up at the pitman arm. Super quick, super easy. I just wanted to give you another view on this of what I was talking about with Y steering. So you can see it comes across and stops. And then the drag link comes up from the steering knuckle up to the pitman arm. Whereas with the new one, it goes across, all the way across to the other knuckle. And then the drag link comes off the tie rod itself and up. So, with that said, from what I'm told is that this newer kit here is 09 up, will fit on a 03 to 08, and it replaces the Y steering, but it will also fit 2000 to 2002 Dodge trucks. Now, supposedly you can make these fit the older 94 to 97, but what you got to do is you got to buy a reamer, and I think they're like 40 to 80 bucks depending, and I don't really feel like that's worth it. I mean, now you're just getting more money into it. You might as well just upgrade to the Synergy or the Dodge Off-Road, and that way you're not having to hog out your knuckles or your pitman arm. If you do decide to go that route, I mean, you could definitely do that, and you could either just change the tie rod up here on your drag link to the one that's the right taper, or you could just get a new pitman arm so you don't have to ream that one out. They do make a 98 to 99 Dodge heavy duty tie rod bar, which is a straight all the way across, and you could put that on and it's a direct fit for 94 to 97 trucks from what I understand. The only difference is you got to do a new location for your shock, because on those trucks, instead of being mounted here on the lower bar, it's mounted up here, so you just have to get a some kind of a adjustable bracket that you could put on there, so that way you can put your shock on. Now on my truck, as you can see, I didn't have the shock on. I haven't had it on for about a year, and I have 0 death wobble issues or anything. The truck actually drives really nice, but it does have a lot of wondering to it, so I'm trying to get that fixed. If you do have a lot of wondering, it's probably could be just about anything with these trucks. As you can see, I've upgraded my track bar, and I went with a Synergy bracket, and then I ordered this track bar from Core 4x4, and it's really nice. It's a little on the short side, so I've got to make me a new lower section. But other than that, you know, it converts it here and gets rid of that ball joint set up on the top, and that helped a ton. So anyways, I'll get back to it. Alright, so I got it all bolted up, and here's what it looks like. As you can see, nice and heavy duty, looks great. You can see the shock back there. One thing you might have to do is that bracket right there. I had to slide as far as I could to the right. It's got a flat spot in the tie rod bar, so it'll only go so far, but all I needed was about 1 inch to make this shock work. Couple things to touch base on is over here at your tie rod. If you're running stock wheels, I'm told that you have to cut that off at the top. Measuring it, looks like about 1/4 inch. I probably wouldn't go more than that, just because, you know, that is there so you can put a wrench on the end so it doesn't spin on you on the ball joint there. Another thing is, make sure you torque these. My book says 65 for all the tie rods, and then for the adjuster sleeves they're saying 40. I highly recommend you look it up yourself and get your own torque specs. I'm not liable for that, so that's up to you to do your own research. One other thing is this adjuster sleeve up here that goes to your pitman arm. This is what's going to adjust your wheel. So when you do this, make sure you pull it in as straight as possible, steering wheel straight, and you'll see if you turn this one way or the other, it's going to straighten your steering wheel. So mine's way off right now, and it was off to start with, so get a good look at it here. As you see, it's off. So you turn it, and it will start to straighten it up. Let's see, go this way with it. You see it turned it, so you're going to want to get that right where you want it at, and then you go ahead and tighten those clamps down. You see I had a mess in my truck. It's because I'm putting a remote start in, so that's going to be another video for another time. In case you guys are wondering what you're going to need, obviously a torque wrench. I used a 1/2-inch ratchet with a 15mm socket for your adjuster sleeve nuts, a 13/16 for the tie rods and the pitman arm tie rod, 15mm and an 18mm for the shock nuts, pickle fork obviously, and a sledge, and if you want, a brass hammer to whack the steering knuckle with. I will have a future video here. You can tell I got some amp research steps I'm going to be putting on, and I ended up buying these brackets off of eBay. They're made by this company here, and they're $100. They come with the brackets and all the little hardware to install them. So go ahead and subscribe and let me know what you guys think, and if you have any videos you might want to see me do, or anything you want to know about the truck. And talk to you soon.